Hey guys, welcome back to the Fishing Doctor's Adventures. Today we're analyzing some underwater behavior, just like my other videos that were pretty well watched. First of all, we're starting off with the jaw jacker. Hear that? That's the jaw jacker hitting the fish. This is a pretty nice brook trout that came in and inhaled that little tungsten jig with a piece of night crawler on it. Here's another one. You can see I'm messing with the jaw jacker and camera. So I don't think I even had it set up yet, and this guy had already grabbed it. And I think I probably set up the jaw jacker just right, and it hit him right there. Look at all these fish going swimming by. I don't know if you can see all them. Probably 20 brookies just went swimming by. Here comes another one, but he takes off right there because I took a step on the ice. And don't be fooled that fish are pretty sensitive to you walking around on the ice. And you'll see that throughout these videos. Sometimes when the fish just take off, it's because I go walking. You'll look in this video, you'll see the brook trout mostly just swimming by this still presentation, and when they're not really aggressive or feeding, that's what they often do. But I found that the biggest trout, like these big brook trout, really like the still presentation. But look at that guy, he bit it by the hook and it got off. Next up, Len Thompson spoon number 7. This is my favorite color, the 5 of diamonds in the lemon flame. And you'll see this is the same day, around the same time I was using the jaw jacker with a night crawler, about a 1-inch piece. And the fish are much more interested in an active moving spoon. And look, I'm raising the spoon slowly up, and you see how that fish just followed it right up towards just under the ice. You know, right now it's probably only a foot under the camera. There's only 2 inches of ice. And he hit that spoon, and I caught him. There he is. Here comes another one. And these little guys are super aggressive. The bigger fish, they'll often move slower. Like I've said in my videos before, how you can tell them to mark them. The marks come in, they're bigger, they move slower. And the little marks, they'll zip around fast, and that's how you know it's a smaller fish. Well, look at this video, you can see that very clearly. Like, look at that big one. Watch this. Look at that. He just comes in and inhales that spoon. I'm going to put this in slow motion. Watch this. He just inhales it as it flutters down. Trout love a fluttering spoon and a spoon that is taking off away from them. They love to chase it, and they love to inhale things as they fall. That brookie inhaled that spoon. People often ask me, how do you jig? That was just an example of how I jig. I move spoons almost constantly when I'm fishing for trout. Sometimes I pause just a little bit, but most of the time I'm either jigging that spoon up, letting it fall down, and just trying to get that trout to chase it. Look at this trout, how he's coming up off, mid-water column all the way up. And the thing about all trout is, they love to chase. They are used to stuff swimming away from them. So why not pull the hook away from them? They often chase it. And what I found is, fish that won't bite, when you put the hook down there, and then you start lifting away from them, they get more aggressive the closer it gets to the surface of the ice, and that's often when they hit. When they won't hit lower down, they'll often chase it up and hit it when it's just below the ice. Look, this is a bigger trout. Again, you can see he's a little bit slower, not so aggressive, but they keep coming back. So, keep that presentation not going too crazy. If you're still seeing a mark, don't go crazy, because they'll just swim back around. That one took off, but there's always next time. Here comes a littler guy. Look how they come in quick to check it. I was fishing in about 6 to 7 feet deep here, and I was only dropping the lure about 3 to 4 feet under the ice. And when I'd see a mark come in on my markham, I would slowly raise the spoon up, jiggling it closer, also so I could see the fish better on the camera. And I was looking down the hole, I could actually see them just standing there. But the fish became more aggressive, as you can see with this guy. This is a bigger one. He obviously knows what a hook is like. Because look, he's kind of nervous biting this hook. You saw how he looked at that spoon, but he wants that worm. He keeps coming for it, and he's going to bite this. Watch this. Gone. I got that one. These bigger trout that you're seeing are around the 16 to 17 inch mark. They're pretty good sized fish, around the 2 pounds. This is still using the Len Thompson spoon, and you saw that was right under the ice, and the guy comes in and nails it. I love how these brook trout chase it up. He's almost vertical in the water column, and he's just chasing that spoon. Compared to the action you saw the fish just swimming by over and over when the hook was still, that small duckbill tungsten jig by Clam Tackle, these fish are way more aggressive, way more active, and still, small, big fish are all going after. There was another big one who hit that spoon. He comes back around looking for the spoon, but I don't think he saw it. He took off. You see all these small creatures? This lake is packed with nutrients. It's surrounded by some farmland, probably some fertilizer gets washed off into this pond, and it is absolutely full of food. All of these little specks are little microorganisms, and the trout are absolutely jam-packed with these things. I think they could basically swim around the lake and get full. So they grow really fast in these high nutrient lakes, but even though they can pick off easy meals just swimming around, they still like biting a bigger meal. So like a spoon, it's something that's just different, and they like to go after spoons early in the ice season. I was fishing November 10th this time. Look at these big bunches of fish. Usually when you're looking down using a flasher and you see a bunch of flickering lights come by, it's usually because it's these big schools of smaller trout. The large ones will just be like one steady solid line. The little fish, it may sometimes coalesce into one big line, but if it's flashing, it's a bunch of smaller ones. Look at that big brookie going by. Sometimes they just pay no attention to your spoon. I'm not sure why, but some do, some don't. Maybe he was by already and took a swipe at it. Here comes another big one. Oh, coming in, and then he just veers off at the last moment. Okay, last one. This is a Slender spoon. My favorite. 1/8 ounce. Golden glow, tipped with a night crawler, and I'm gonna switch it up with a duckbill tungsten jig by Clam Tackle, because I could see them coming in to this Slender spoon, and look how I'm jigging it. This is what people ask, how do you jig it? I'm jigging it all the time, and the flutter is what they really like. Look how this guy is attacking this Slender spoon. Fish absolutely love these Slender spoons, but look at this. I dropped down the Clam Tackle jig, and they are just going wild for it, and he finally gets it. These brook trout don't have the greatest aim. Like, look at that, they just miss over and over, but there you go, he got it, and I got him. Look at this, how they come in for the Slender spoon. Look how aggressive these fish are. It's just unbelievable. These Slender spoons trigger fish more than any other spoon I've seen. With the slender profile, the quick fluttering motions, they just love these things. And that fish was caught on the Slender spoon. Here's another one. I'm going to drop down the jig again. And watch. He's going to come back around and smoke this jig. So sometimes, if you are bringing the fish in with the Slender spoon, but say they're either too small, or for some reason they're not just committing to that Slender spoon, you can have another rod with a small jig on it, pull up the spoon, drop down the jig, or you can actually take the treble hook off the Slender spoon and use it as a flasher with a smaller jig below it, or just a hook and bait. But that sometimes kills the action and causes tangles. So what I do is, if I need to have a smaller presentation, I just will switch up the rods. Okay, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the analysis. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my walleye and pike analysis. You'll probably like those as well.